Is money even real? It's a question that sounds simple, but the more you think about it, the weirder it gets. We use money every single day, buying coffee, paying rent, shopping online, but have you ever stopped to wonder what it actually is? Is it just paper, metal, or numbers on a screen, or is there something deeper going on? I mean, think about it, that piece of paper in your pocket, or the digits on your screen, can you actually say they're worth anything? If you tried to eat a dollar bill, it wouldn't fill you up. If you tried to build a house out of coins, it wouldn't keep out the rain. So why do we treat these things as valuable? Let's rewind and figure out how we even got here. The story of money is really the story of human cooperation, trust, and a little bit of imagination. Thousands of years ago, people traded stuff directly. Maybe you had some grain, I had a chicken, and we'd work something out. This was called bartering, and it was the original way people got what they needed. No coins, no bills, just stuff for stuff, but bartering was messy. What if I didn't want your chicken? What if you didn't need my grain? What if you had something I wanted, but I had nothing you needed? Trading could get complicated fast, and people wasted a lot of time trying to make deals work. So, people started using things like shells, beads, or shiny metals, stuff everyone agreed was valuable. These early forms of money were chosen because they were rare, durable, and easy to carry. In some cultures, giant stone discs or even salt were used as money. The key was that everyone trusted these objects to hold value. Fast forward, and eventually, we landed on gold and silver coins. These metals were shiny, hard to fake, and could be divided into smaller pieces. They became the standard for trade across continents, and empires rose and fell on the strength of their gold reserves. But carrying around bags of coins was heavy, risky, and let's face it, not ideal for buying a coffee. Imagine trying to pay for groceries with a sack of silver. People needed something lighter, more convenient, and easier to use for everyday transactions. That's when paper money entered the scene. At first, this paper was just a note that said, hey, you can swap this for real gold at the bank. It was basically a receipt, a promise that you could get something valuable in exchange. People trusted these notes because they knew they could always trade them for gold or silver if they wanted. And for a while, that made sense. The money was backed by something solid, something you could actually hold in your hand. This system, called the gold standard, made people feel secure. If you had a dollar, you knew it was worth a certain amount of gold. But here's where things get wild. Over time, governments realized they could print more money than they had gold, as long as people kept believing in it. Eventually, the link between paper money and gold was broken. In the 20th century, governments decided to ditch the gold standard. Suddenly, money was no longer tied to anything physical. It became what's called fiat currency. Money that has value simply because the government says it does, and because we all agree to use it. Now, your money isn't backed by anything physical. It's literally just paper, or more often, numbers in a computer. Most of the money you use never even exists as cash. It's just digital entries moving from one account to another. The only reason it works? Because we all agree to pretend it does. It's trust. Massive, society-wide trust. Every time you accept money for your work, or spend it at a store, you're participating in this giant act of collective belief. Banks play a huge part in this game. They're the keepers of our digital money, the middlemen who make sure everything adds up. But they also create new money by lending out more than they actually have in their vaults. When you deposit money, it doesn't just sit there. The bank uses most of it to make loans to other people, businesses, and even governments. Your money is constantly moving, being multiplied and transformed. Banks lend most of it out, which means, crazy enough, most of our money only exists digitally. The numbers you see in your bank app are just promises, records of what you're owed, not piles of cash sitting in a vault. The cash circulating is just a tiny fraction of all the money that's out there. If everyone tried to withdraw their money at once, there wouldn't be enough bills to go around. Most of our wealth is just data floating in cyberspace. So, is money even real? It's not something you can eat, wear, or use directly. It's not a physical thing you can always touch. But it shapes our lives, our choices, and our futures. In one way, no, it's not gold, not silver, not chickens or grains. It's not even the paper or coins themselves. It's an idea, a shared story we all agree to believe in. But in another way, it's the realest thing ever because it moves the world. Money fuels businesses, builds cities, and connects people across the globe. It's the invisible engine behind almost everything we do. Our trust is what gives it power. Every time you tap your card or hit send on a payment app, you're casting a vote of confidence in this giant, imaginary system. You're saying, I believe this will work, and so does everyone else. So next time you hold a dollar or check your bank app, ask yourself, is money even real? Or is it just a story we all agree to tell day after day, year after year? Or is it just the world's greatest magic trick? Either way, it's a trick that keeps the world spinning, and as long as we all believe, the magic continues.